Many of the things you will hear in this video are true, some are hearsay, and some are yet to be true. I just can't tell you which ones. My full story can be found on the Amazon Kindle site in a writing called American-Born Sicilian. In this video, you will hear many pieces of old-time Sicilian wisdom on topics such as omerta, which is the code of silence, vendetta, interrogation, who to fear, Sicilian business advice, how not to fear anyone, and much more. Now, here is my disclaimer. All the material you will be hearing in this video is for entertainment purposes only. I make no claim as to the truthfulness of any of this material, and I take no responsibility for how you may use this material. My name is Carmine Sierra. I'm an American-born Sicilian. Bullying is currently a national topic. Bullying can take place between countries, between business partners, or more commonly between young men and women in school. In my neighborhood, it was easily handled. I had a friend growing up named Dominic. He was a small, skinny kid pushed around and taunted, mainly by the Irish boys. One of Dominic's 6 uncles gave him this piece of wisdom. Fear no bully, for the biggest bully will fall when hit from behind with a baseball bat. Dominic was never bothered again by anyone. Actually, Dominic's uncle really gave him a civic lesson from one of America's greatest presidents, Teddy Roosevelt, who said, "Talk softly, but carry a big stick." The American movie mafia-themed definition of omerta is code of silence. It really is an attitude that relates to the meaning of being a man, as a man doesn't talk to his enemies or the authorities about his associates or friends. Simply put, it means keep your mouth shut. Every American citizen through the Fifth Amendment has the right to omerta. You don't have to talk to anyone, answer the phone, or answer your door to anyone, no matter how loud someone may yell for you to do so. It is really the innocent people in American society that are protected by this right of silence. Go to the internet and Google attorney law professor James Duane's video on why no person should ever talk to the police, especially if you're innocent. Never verbally exert any constitutional rights to the authorities, though, because this irritates them. Today's wisdom is well known in so-called mafia circles on not talking and on keeping secrets. It is 3 people can keep a secret as long as 2 of them are dead. Vendetta. To the point, it means revenge, to get even for a wrong or harm that someone has done to you, your family, or to your social group. Religious people will quote the Bible in Romans saying, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." Sicilians believe this. All they're asking for is part of the action. There are accepted forms of vendetta in our society. A lawsuit is one. A police complaint is one. A government attacking another country with shock and awe is one. Being kicked out of your church is one. But the most common one for this particular word and in the context of the theme of this video is getting even by doing harm to someone. One thing about a vendetta to a Sicilian is that time does not matter. The key is patience and distance from where the vendetta takes place. I heard of a man who completed his vendetta after waiting 5 years. Sicilians never forget. But the most satisfying vendetta I have ever heard was completed by a woman named Teresa. Teresa's husband was killed by a local gang leader. Italians would call him a Don. When this Don's territory was taken over by another gang leader, he captured Teresa's husband's killer and called Teresa to tell her where she could find him in a room gagged and tied to a chair. Teresa went there and entered the room. The man's eyes were fixated on her as she walked towards him. Teresa draped a large, clear plastic bag over his head and body, and then placed 2 activated insect foggers inside the bag and taped it shut tightly around him. She then sat in a chair in front of him, showing a picture of her dead husband as he choked to death. Sicilian wisdom concerning a moral code for vendetta is this: there is no different moral code for an individual acting alone than when a group of individuals acting in concert through a society perform the same act. Every individual, or country for that matter, has the ability to do good things or to do very bad things, especially the ultimate bad thing of taking another person's life. Many of these actions are determined, good or bad, by the society in which a person lives in, his religious beliefs, the job he has, or by the code of his close social group. It has been said everyone lives 3 lives: a public life, a private life, and a secret life. Many old-time Sicilians belong to a group which our government claims is organized crime, or the more popular movie-themed name of mafia. If true, how does a person live a good life, bad life, at the same time while in the mafia, or in a religious group, or working for the government? It's really psychological compartmentalization, rationalized and then justified within that particular belief system. Here it is in a nutshell. To be able to live a life of a so-called mafioso, you have to be able to gouge a guy's eye out with a fork, and then go home and eat hamburger and play with the kids. Oh, and don't forget to go to Mass on Sunday after taking confession. Well, if you're a kid and it's a bully, you already know how to handle this situation, so this should eliminate any fear you may have. Remember patience. But now as an adult, it's different. There are multiple types of men you should fear. Fear the man who has nothing to lose. Don't push a man to this point. Fear the man who does not show anger at the moment he should. He will be planning vendetta. But here is how you fear no man. It is the moment you decide you can take the life of another person if you have to. When this happens, calmness comes over you, as this gives you a sense of power and control. If you hold to the previous topic of omerta, you should not be concerned about being interrogated by any person or government agency. They use the word interview, but believe me, it's interrogation with extreme intimidation that wears you down after many hours of good cop, bad cop. But a softer approach is now generally used. Go to the internet on Wikipedia and look up the Reid method of interrogation, Reid, R-E-I-D. This is the interrogation method most all law enforcement agencies use. Educate yourself on this method. In a nutshell, though, you can totally extinguish the power of this method by only repeating the same words, I am innocent. The second tool used is a polygraph or lie detector test. Know this: no machine can detect a lie. It is your belief in the machine that influences how you respond. Always refuse to take the test, especially if you are innocent. The examiner will always come back saying, there is a problem, and ask you if there is anything you want to tell him. He really wants a confession. Remember the James Duane video you were asked to watch on the internet in a previous topic. So, here is Sicilian wisdom. Always ask for a lawyer. Don't talk. Don't allow yourself to be interrogated. And don't ever submit to a lie detector test. These are your basic rights for your protection. Here are a variety of points of Sicilian wisdom on doing business. 1. You will live longer if you are not the man behind the desk. Always be the man who is behind the man behind the desk. 2. Avoid all publicity. Your invisibility is your power. Be modest in all you do. Avoid excess in spending money, in sex, alcohol use, fancy jewelry, fancy clothes, and fancy cars. 3. Address a business problem in its early stages. If you don't, it's like a disease, which if not caught early, grows and kills you. 4. Keep the proper balance between fear and hate. You want your business associates to respect and fear you, not hate you. 5. In business, be suspicious of the man who proclaims his own honesty. If he says this at the dinner table, start counting your silverware. 6. Don't try to maximize your profit in all business deals. Always make sure your associates prosper. You will live longer. Remember, the best business deal is when both parties walk away dissatisfied. 7. Never eat at the table of prosperity alone. Learn to share. And when you do invite your associates to eat at the table, don't have short arms. Pass the food of prosperity around. You will be respected, and also you will live longer. I'm going to end this video with a promotion of my book on Amazon Kindle titled American-Born Sicilian. You will not only read a great story about a young man whose parents were murdered by the mafia and then trained in the force of mafia ways for his vendetta by an old Sicilian. You will also learn many more Sicilian wisdoms about the Kennedy assassination and the searching for Martello Poco. Martello Poco was the mafia's name for Jimmy Hoffa and means little hammer. Hurry and download this book before it's forced to be taken off the market. By my publishing this book in video, I'm coming out of years of solitude and not following my own advice on doing business with little publicity. For those of you looking for me, come and find me. I'm waiting for you. I am Carmine Sierra. I am the American-born Sicilian.